Okay, time for d4. And we'll see what he plays. Maybe a Nimzo. Yeah, a lot of people have been playing this lately instead of going for the Nimzo. They start out like a Nimzo and then play the Queen's Gambit declined, which is fine. I'll just defend this pawn and develop my knight. Should be a fine game. Don't have to be in a hurry to bring this bishop back. Let's do it this way. Bring it back to c2 here. Put the queen on d3. So I've got two pieces looking at this square, so I can push this pawn. He's got a bishop potentially looking at it, and the knight actually looking at it. This pawn is defended by the queen. Attacked by the queen and the knight and defended by the knight and the queen, so it's fine. And if he lets me push once more, it'll be a very short game, I think. Maybe not. Maybe I need to lift up my queen first. I was thinking I could go straight for the Greek gift sacrifice, but I don't think that's possible because his queen and bishop, after the knight moves, say if I push this pawn and then the knight moves, then he's got control of this square, so the sacrifice won't work. But I can at least push the pawn back. I can at least push the pawn and drive the knight away. And then we'll see how he defends here. This is a mate threat, so he can't just do any old thing. Yeah, so that loses the pawn over here. Let's take the knight first. Just to stop him from causing trouble there. This is defended, yeah, so let's just grab that free pawn. Now he's attacking the d pawn. I could just drop back and defend it. Let's see, is there a trick here? Could he play knight takes pawn, knight takes, queen takes pawn, pawn takes, rook takes queen. The queen's defended. Yeah, he can't play that. So yeah, next I'm going to drive the queen back. And then I'm going to put a rook here. Yeah, I'd like to get that developed in case I have to bring the bishop back here. I don't want it to block in the rook. Although I think bishop is on a fine square where it is. So, one idea is just to bring my queen over here. When I put it here, it will be in the line of fire. So I didn't actually see that, but I have a defense. He's skewering my queen and rook. I have a defense. So I guess he's going to retreat the bishop. I don't see any advantage to him taking. He'll have trouble defending the knight and the pawn behind it if he takes. I take back with the queen. And if the bishop retreats here, I can put my queen here pretty safely. If the knight moves anywhere, the bishop is hanging, and they can't move here and here. The two squares that would defend the bishop are occupied by his own pieces, so he can't play the knight to those squares. And if he defends the bishop, then the queen will go first here and then over to here. I'll be looking at this hole, maybe bring a knight in here. Oh, I can't go there. Pay attention. Watch out for the squares your opponents cover. So queen here, here, here. Put the bishop here. And if he trades, the knight comes in threatening. Okay, he's taking a long time on this move. He played quickly up to this point. But now I'm ahead on time. Anyway, yeah, this kind of tactic, I fall for that a surprising number of times. It surprises me anyway, because it's just a casual look at the board will reveal that your pieces are lined up. And all you have to do is look around for an opposing piece that can take advantage of it. So I can just take that. I will. And I'm threatening to take his knight. So he took a pawn. I see. He grabs the pawn, and my queen is undefended there. That's true. And if I take his queen, the knight takes back. That's a nice little trick to pick up a pawn. But he lost a pawn, and he'll lose another one. Well, the other thing he could do is take here with check, huh? Let's just drop back. See where he wants to go with that knight. I am still a pawn up because I have that pawn I snagged. Grabbed a pawn here and then he won a pawn back. With that was kind of a nice tactical exchange, so can't begrudge him that. He wants my bishop. I think that's fine. Just force him to take so I can bring a pawn here to defend the center. Then let's bring the knight out, hit the queen. He didn't notice, I guess, and I was threatening the pawn on f7. I'm just wondering which way I should take. I guess I should take with the rook. The knight is pretty well stationed right there. I also had knight here with the big fork. But more serious is queen here to here, and that would lead to mate in short order. So he wants to take the knight. If I go here with, and he takes the knight, I go here with that doesn't work. Okay, good point. Okay. Now I go here, he takes the knight, I take here with check, he blocks. It does work. Don't quite know what I was thinking. I was thinking he could block the check with his bishop, but of course I have the rook here still, as well as the queen. And he can't even defend this pawn, it looks like. Queen here. No, I take the queen. Yeah, I don't see a move that defends that pawn. The king can't step up because the rook is there. The rook is defended. You can remove the defender, but then I take here with check. So it looks like he's going to let his time run out while he's looking for an answer. Yeah, that doesn't work. Reached the same conclusion I did. If we just briefly look at that. It looks like mate in 4. Yeah, there was no way out. And queen g4, bishop takes, queen takes check, block, and mate. So no way out. Interesting game. Okay, let's see if we can get a rapid game. Okay, I've got black. Time for e5. See what kind of offense he's got here. He plays the Scotch game. I take. He plays the Scotch gambit. So I don't go in for the main line of the Scotch gambit. I play this kind of timid move, d6. It's so I can develop my knight to f6, and I was trying to remember for a second, what do I do if he just goes directly for the attack here? But yeah, he just grabbed the pawn. I think you can defend the pawn this way. He has 2 pieces on the pawn. Yeah, but you can defend it with the knight. I think you have to. And because his knight's there, the usual bishop takes knight can't happen. And then you have time to bring the bishop out and then castle. So I think I'm just going to develop here. If he wants to take my knight and give me some doubled pawns, I think that's reasonable. If he brings his queen out here, I'm going to play my knight up to shield this pawn. And that's why having this pawn here is very handy, because it can't easily be kicked away. Can't easily be kicked away with a pawn push. And it looks like he doesn't even want to take my knight. But he has to decide what he wants to do. I'm just going to castle. Now he takes. Okay, so he's going to really destroy my pawn structure by pushing, I guess. But I have the option. I didn't do it. I was going to say I have the option of pushing here. Do I want to do that now? Opens up a line for my bishop. And if he takes, I can take back. Got 2 pieces on it. I can bring this pawn forward to support it. I push and he pushes. I take the bishop, he takes the knight. I take back. I think that's okay for me as well. Okay, so he dropped his bishop off. So this guy's not under attack anymore. The bishop to g5 is the move I might want to prevent. I could start with this move, right? If he plays bishop g5, then I can take a pawn here. So he moved his knight out. The knight is probably coming to f3, looks like it. Do I want to put my bishop on this long diagonal? Get my pieces pointed towards his king. Can't bring the bishop out now. He's got a knight in the way, and so I have time to prevent bishop to g5 if I want to. He brings the knight out. Okay, he's going to come in here. I take it. Comes in here. I could drop back. So yeah, let's stop the pin. I'm redoing this so that I can put my bishop here. Now, before I make the next move, one other option is to push this pawn forward. See where the knight goes. It could go here. Looking at the dark squares, or it could go here. Looking at these squares. I might just bring the bishop out, though. Get both my bishops pointed at his king side. Yeah, that's a very reasonable move. Let's drop back. I want to play c5. c5, d4, queen to d5, and got a battery. I would have liked to prevent his knight from hopping into these squares, but he's got this very good light squared bishop supporting the knight in either of those locations, so I can't really stop that. The knight on f5 there is a pretty dangerous piece. I will do what I can to counter it. You know, one option is maybe just knight to e4. So that it's no longer defended and he has to trade off this good light squared bishop that was defending it there. Might cost me a pawn to do that. So he brought the queen out. This is losing, isn't it? Pawn push, knight move, pawn push, and it's a double attack on the bishop and the queen. Maybe he can move the queen with a mate threat and somehow recover. Pawn here, knight here, pawn forward, queen here. What do I play? Just pawn up. Now I need to play something that attacks the queen. Maybe knight here. Hits the queen and defends against the mate. Okay, let's play it. If you have a move that wins the game, you should play it. Okay, first he takes the pawn, which that's a mistake, right? You can't take the pawn first. Sorry, I almost responded at the danger of playing instant moves. And he resigned. Okay, well that was a rapid game, and I did manage to win it. So this is that'll be this session. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye now.